Hi 朋友们, welcome back to my channel, Stella Rose Bella. Today I want to talk about my first impression of Jiu Men, so let's get into it. First off, we have Chen Weiting who plays Zhang Qisan or Fo Ye. We have Deng Shunxi who plays Wu Laogou. We have Chen Yao who plays Huo Xiangu, and we have a lot of returning like a lot of familiar faces characters. So for this drama, I would have to say I was really excited when I heard that Jiumen, the second, like the sequel, whatever, the continuation of this story, this world coming back 10 years later. I was so excited. And for me, I think one thing I was a little worried was like if we can still see the characters still there when the same actor portrays this character. Because a lot of the time, sometimes for me personally, I feel like when I see a sequel to a drama, sometimes it's like, yes, you are portraying that character, but I don't really feel the character. But this time I feel like Chen Weiting, like, yes, this time when he portrayed Fo Ye, I feel like he really, like, for some reason, I'm maybe it's because like time has passed and a lot of things, I feel like he really matches like Fo Ye. Because in the first one, I felt like he was a little young, a bit young for his character. That's how I feel. Nothing with him, but I just like this time he fits that energy with that character, if you know what I mean. Another thing is Zheng Junxi Joseph, who plays Wu Laogou. If you know 盗墓笔记, this world. In Ultimate Note, he played Wu Xie. So this time he's playing Wu Xie, you know, the grandpa, Wu Xie's grandpa. So it's like really cool. And Wu Xie and Wu Laogou, they're two different characters and they're very different. And it's really cool to see how he portrays this character and sort of like knowing the backstory about Wu Laogou. Because like, if you watch in 盗墓, like, all these like dramas related to this story, you get pieces and information about certain characters. So I don't really know much about Wu Xie's grandpa, other than like Wu Xie's grandpa, like they had like he had like 3 sons and everything like that. So I don't really know much about his grandpa, like really his past and everything. So that's like another thing. And obviously, like we have a lot of new people joining the cast. So for example, like Huo Xiangu, if you watch Ultimate Note, yes, again I keep mentioning that drama. You meet Huo Xiangu, but she, you know, she is older, and you see like, you know, the mature and older version of her. But in this drama, you see a very, you know, younger version of her. And for me, like in Ultimate Note, like when I first saw her, that character, she didn't seem very nice. And like you can see that Wu Xie's grandpa knew Huan Xingu, and like based on her interaction with Wu Xie, it seems like she had, you know, some history with the grandpa. So I was like, oh, okay, like what happened between them? So in this drama, you find out more about what their story is, and I feel like this time I like Jiumen a lot because in the first one we always see like it really focuses on Fo Ye and Er Hong, like their story and a lot of things. And you do see Jiumen, like the rest of the other, you know, people in this Jiumen, but you don't really know much about what they do other than they have meetings and everything. But this time it seems like we will get more, like we will find out more about each men, like what they do and what they can do and what they're capable of. So I'm like really excited to see like what happens. So in this drama, if you notice and if you listen carefully to certain lines, there are connections or going back to Nambunan, because I watched this drama because I was hoping to, you know, slowly get out of Nambunan. I love that drama. I love that story. I love all the characters in there. And but for some reason, probably because Namhae Sanshu also wrote the script for this drama, so we see a lot of connections that, you know, connections with Nambudangan. So for example, in the beginning when Baye going underground, you know, and like he's like, what if, you know, something happens to me? What if I die and everything? And Foye's like, 我给你风光大将啊, which is something that Xia Zai tells Haiyan when, you know, when he asks the same question. Like Haiyan's like, what are you gonna do if I die? And Shazai is like 我给你风光大葬啊 and it's like what is this thing with Zhang Jiaren with like that whole like big ceremony for that whole for the funeral and everything. But if you know about Zhang Jia and like a lot of things, it's like yes, they do have a long life, and yes, they do a lot of things. But it's sort of like because they live for a very long time, it's sort of like can they use that same identity, for a lifetime? They always have to switch their identity. But also like even if they're gone, like it's like it feels like nobody really knows that they're gone and stuff like that, and it's like a little sad for them. So to have that ceremony is sort of like it's sort of like like oh like let there be known that person is gone, but because for them they can't really tell people that they're gone, or else like everyone knows that like their secret that like oh you can live for a very long time. I don't know, that's how I feel. Another line that really connected back to Nambodan is when Wulauko and Foye, when they were underground, they're only alone, and then like Foye is like I'm gonna destroy this door, like I can do it, and then Wulauko is like wait, like don't, I know you're capable of doing this, but just think about it for this moment, because we're not the only ones underground. We have like 霍信姑 还有其他人. They're not the only ones down here. He's like, what about the other people? And it's similar to what Shazai told Haiyan, because he's like, Shazai was like, you had fun doing all these things and like you're so powerful and everything, but think about the people around you. So it's very similar to like what they said in Nabudaan. So these are like sort of like the two lines that really made me think of Nabudaan, but there are a lot of similarities that you can sort of trace back to Nabudaan. So the pacing of this drama, I would have to say it's a little slow compared to a lot of dramas that you see nowadays, because I feel like a lot of dramas nowadays, it's like very fast and like, oh, this is what's gonna happen, and this is like if I don't like someone, like this is what's gonna happen to them. I'm gonna like do something to them like really quickly, and all these things. And like right now, I feel like this drama, I love the slow pacing, and like we sort of slowly dig under and seeing like who is doing all these things, why are they underground, what made them go underground, why are they underground, and all these things. And we see like, oh, these Japanese soldiers, like what are they trying to do, and a lot of things. So I feel like this drama really does do a good job in terms of like slowly building and slowly finding out like what situation that they're in, and sort of like up till today's episode, we finally meet the Japanese soldiers and trying to find out like what's their deal, like why they did all this just to get Wulauko. And Wulauko was like, why didn't you just get me, from my house and stuff? He's like, you don't think I tried that? And he's like, your dogs are really mean. So they got scared. So I was like, okay, all this for Wulauko. So we'll see like what happens and everything. So and it's interesting because in the underground we learn more about like 格式老主 and like what he is capable of, and like what people like there are like myths about this person and everything like that. And we find out about sort of like this, I guess like this power part of the story. I don't really know what the use of this character is. So that's like one thing. Another thing is that you actually have questions about this whole situation. First is like, why is it that Huo Xinggu, like she had to make all these symbols on like certain things, and she's never been underground, but for some reason all those symbols are already there before she even went underground. So that's like one thing. And why is it only she's the one that can see 格式老主, or this person that nobody else can see? Like why is it that she's the only one that can see this person? Like what is the use of this character, Another thing is when she went to go, because she needed to find Wulauko, and like she goes and reaches her hand up in the hole, and there is a hand that comes out, and with a button as well. And whose hand is that, And a lot of these things. And also another thing is like the bird that was supposed to send a message to, Wulauko's people. Like that bird is already gone. Like where did this other bird come from? And all these things. I was like, interesting. And I don't know, I'm really excited to see what happens in the story as, as the story goes on. So I'm like really happy about this drama because I feel like yes, in the beginning when I watch drama, like nowadays, it's like, oh, like really fast, like this is what's gonna happen, and next. No, I'm just like, you do it very fast paced, but I just feel like I'm missing some details. So hopefully, I hope that this drama really brings back to like, okay, we're slowly building this story and not like getting it all in a rush. So in terms of like if we will see anyone in Nambudangan like appear in this drama because they did appear in Nambunan, and we will see one character, Dong Xiaojie, which is if you watch Nambudan, it's the identity that Zhang Haiti uses when she's outside. So we will see that character in this story, but it is not the same actress who portrayed Zhang Haiti in Nambudan and someone else. So we'll see. I'm really excited to see that. And I wish like Shazai and like Haiyan appear in this drama as well, but I guess not. So that's like, I guess that's like an exciting part of like this drama. And then this drama, the director for this drama is actually, if you watch like Tangwei, like that whole series, he's a director of that drama. And in that drama, if you watched it, yes, it's an investigation drama. It's also a costume drama, and also there are some like little like scary elements to it. So when I heard that he's directing this drama, I was really excited. And in like Tamu Biji, like that whole world, it's always like scary stuff, a little scary stuff. So if you watch the first episode of this drama, you know that the nurse hear that like that sound that creature makes, and it was actually a little scary when they made that sound effect and the like I think it flickered and everything, and so I was like, this is a little scary, but I was like, okay, it matches like what I've been seeing in the like Dalmubiti world, this universe. Just like a lot of people, I have also waited for this drama for 10 years because I also watched the first drama like years ago, and when I first watched that drama, that was actually my introduction to Tamu BT and everything because I didn't really know much about Tamu BT and like how it's connected and everything, but like yeah, but anyways, I've been waiting for this drama for 10 years. I'm really happy that it happened and a lot of stuff. And I want to say, like, for me, I'm excited for this drama because if you watch the other drama in this universe, especially if you watch Shahai, that drama, you will meet sort of like the descendants of Zhoumen, like the people, their generations after their people, the other generations, the future generations. And it's really interesting to see how Zhoumen is like in present day compared to like what you see in the drama now. And I guess I sort of want to find out like what happened in the past for these Zhoumen. Like why is it that I see the present day, they're not as tight as they used to be, and the Zhoumen that you see present day, they're very like they want is the wealth and everything because they believe that what happened underground or whatever, like I don't really even know what happened underground, but in that drama all I know is that like something happened and the their future generations, they want to go underground believing that there are like treasures down there and everything. And Floyd is like people under him, which you will, if you watch the drama, he's like, please, like we already said we're not going down there and everything, and a lot of things happened. So I actually wanted to know like what happened to them in the past and why they like I feel like they're very like separated and not like together as as they used to be. So I was like a little surprised when I saw that drama. So I was like, what happened to Tillman? So that's like Shahai. Like that's another, if you guys are interested. I actually like that drama as well. So I was like really excited when I saw like some familiar faces and some like characters' names. So I was like, oh, that's so cool. But anyways, that is all I have to say about this drama. I do like it. I'm actually like, really excited to see like what's gonna happen to all these characters and a lot of things. And it seems like there's going to be a lot of fight scenes and everything, so I'm like really excited for that. So yes, so that is what I want to say about this drama. If you like this drama, let me know like what's y'all's like favorite scene or a character and everything, like what story, like what part of, you know, the drama, like what you're excited for, what you're excited to see in this drama. And if you like videos like this, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.